Tuesday, April 17, 2012. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1995 Subaru Legacy. I've been having some problems the last couple of days. I did not even drive into work today. For those who have not watched the last couple of videos, just a little background. On Sunday, I was out driving the car, and the check engine light came on, and it did occasionally, blink intermittently while I was driving. So I took it to AutoZone First Chance I Got, probably about an hour later, and had them scan it. The code I got was P0302, which indicates a misfire on cylinder 2. So I put new spark plugs in it. The old ones were less than 30,000 miles old, but I just went ahead and got new ones, installed them, drove the car, and it seemed to be great for a while, Sunday evening. So I drove the car into work on Monday, and the check engine light came back again. I had stopped in before work at another parts store, had them scan the code. P0302 was back. There are a number of potential causes of the P0302 code. Ignition system fault is one. What I did though, Monday before I left the office, was I swapped the wires, which are about equal length, from cylinders 2 and 4. And when I got to work Monday, I had disconnected the battery, so there were no codes when I started the car, and it was okay until I got around the block when the car started idling really poorly again and hesitating, and the check engine light came back on. So I went to the nearest store again and got a third scan, and still P0302, which means that it's still cylinder number 2 that's the problem, and switching the wires didn't help. So I've effectively eliminated the spark plug wires as a cause of the problem. So if it's an ignition fault, the next logical part, of course, is the ignition coil. I got a good deal on a brand new one, so I'm going to install it. So I'm going to replace that. And at the same time, I actually also did order new plug wires, so I'm going to replace those two just in case. I'm going to save these for spares because they're not quite worn out yet. And we'll go from there. If it's this will basically, hopefully, eliminate the ignition system as a cause of the problem. Obviously, when I have more time this weekend, I might clean all the engine grounds. But if it's not this, it also could be the fuel injector itself. Spend too much time. I've already gone a couple of minutes just talking about this, so I'm going to replace the coil right now. In order to do that, first off, the battery is disconnected. It's always a great idea when you're doing that sort of thing. And there's 4 bolts holding the coil itself onto the intake manifold. The spark plug wires just pull right out. And then this electrical connector right here, there's a little tab inside here. You can carefully release it with a screwdriver and pull the plug out. So I'm going to go ahead and replace this and the spark plug wires and start it up and see what happens. Okay, I've got the new coil and the new plug wires installed, and I have reconnected the battery. So I'm going to give this a start. It's probably going to start kind of rough because the computer has lost all its adaptation settings and whatnot. So I expect it to smooth out shortly. I guess the big test will be whether or not the check engine light comes back. I'm going to let it idle a while and see what happens. And if everything looks okay, then I'm going to take it out for a drive. So wish me luck. Well, so far so good. It's running, so obviously the coil pack and the wires do work. So give this a few minutes and see what happens. Okay, engine's been idling for about 5 minutes. No check engine light. but it also could be just it's too early in the readaptation process for it even to trigger. So I'm going to take the car out for a drive now and see if anything happens. So wish me luck. Forgive the shakiness of the camera there. I actually was ready to declare victory on this. I took the car out for about a 5-mile drive, and I got all the way back to the house, pulled in the driveway. It seemed to be idling, more or less okay. And I was really ready to declare victory, but then I stepped out of the car, just said hello to my wife, and looked in at the dash, and the check engine light blinked a couple of seconds, and now it's on steady. So drove around the corner here to the auto parts store. I'm going to have them scan the code. Once again, the reason the camera is so shaky is not my hands, it's the car. I mean, the car is actually shaking from the bad idle. So can have them scan the code, and I'm reasonably sure it's still going to be a P0302. So I'll let you know what happens. Well, took the car to the store, had them scan the computer, and once again, P0302, cylinder 2 misfire. So, I've got some more digging to do. So, like I said, I'll run the compression test, might replace the injector, and if the injector solves it, great. If not, if it is a compression problem, I have to decide what to do. I mean, I might just drive the car as is, hoping that I don't have catastrophic failure on the road, and maybe just drive it into the ground. My Vanagon is almost back on the road, hopefully. I'm nearing the end of my engine swap, and in which case, I can register it and drive it again, and then once that's done, I can do a marathon session of mechanical work and get the Mercedes diesel rolling. Drive that also. I do like having the all-wheel drive for the winter, but it's April now. It would, if I needed to, it would give me the rest of the year to replace this car. So let's see what happens. I'll keep you posted.